Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to be talking about Warcaster. You know, I love doing these things because, you know, I just wouldn't have ever expected him to be so much fun. And then I started playing him. I started doing a review on him, and it was really exciting. I think Warcaster is pretty great. We're going to go over his skills, his abilities. We're going to take him into PvP first. We're going to go over Dragons 20. We are going to do Magic Keep 15. And then we're going to do, I'm going to take all the gear. Here we go. PvP, Dragons 20, Magic Keep, and his Masteries after that. And we'll also go over his gear in just a second. Let's go over his skills. He has a 50% chance maxed out to steal 2 random buffs, which is great. We can definitely use that in Magic Keep and Void Keep, and in waves and in PvP. So it's really good. There's no bosses out there yet in 20s that we really need him for. And he attacks all enemies, and he has a 75% chance to place a blocks debuffs buff. So block buffs debuff actually. So that way they won't be able to buff up. They won't be able to get speed boost. They won't be able to get immune to damage, things like that, which he also has block damage as well. But it's on a 4-turn cooldown, only for 1 turn block damage. Nothing will hurt us. We can still get stunned and get affected, but at least we won't be taking any damage. And then he has a crit increase for any void champions. He has really good stats too. Look at the stats down here. We have good HP, really good HP. We have good attack, good defense, and really good speed. I am happy with him overall. So again, I'm going to take Lua. I'm going to take all her gear because she's an attack void girl that I use a lot. She's really cool. I've done a video on her as well. She does a good damage. She's an attack class. I wanted to see how he would compare to her. I'm not trying to make him like her. I'm not trying to make him an attack class because he does a lot of other things. But I want to see what kind of damage I can pull off with him. So I'm going to take all her gear off of her and slap it onto him. So here we go. We'll be moving on to that. So here's Lua. We're going to mash them together. Warcaster, and we're gonna get a Warcaster with lady legs. All right, so we're taking the gear. We've got all the gear. We're taking it off. I'm gonna show you the final total stats that he's gonna have. He's gonna have like 96% crit and then 170% crit damage, and then he's gonna have a really good attack right here, as you can see. Total attack 3,263, 96% crit, 170% crit damage. So he's going to be able to do really well. We're not going to need to bring in a crit lead or anything else. He should do just fine on his own. And we're going to take him into PvP first just to have some fun. We get so used to playing our regular group, our regular 4, or whatever champions we use all the time, that we don't really branch out and use a lot of other champions. Well, me being able to do this with him was so much fun. These guys are in the 3,000 arena bracket. I don't know why this first group is, because they seem really weak. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? But he's doing okay. Look, he put down the damage, and he got the, look, he put the block buffs on Martyr. So she can try, but she's not going to be able to buff herself with the counterattack and the shield. So it makes it a lot nicer. She's going to die anyways. But say if it was a longer fight, she would not. This next turn, she'd come up. She'd try to buff herself, and she wouldn't be able to buff herself, which is a savior. Because you know those Martyrs that counterattack with that lifesteal just tear you up sometimes. They're crazy. They're crazy. Right? So here we go. We're going to go into another group. We can do, again, we can do the AoE. We have an 80% chance to activate the block buffs, right? Debuff to put on them. Now, that just means activate it, because we have a 75% chance from skills, and then we have 5% additional from masteries. Now, if he doesn't hit that, obviously he could hit them, and then we'd have a 20% chance that he's not even going to try to do it. And then we got to see if it gets resisted if he does activate it. But anyways, we're just taking these people out. So Lua would normally do 60 to 70,000 damage on her AoE with a defense breakup from Zargala, right? But this guy is doing, what, 40k? Instead of 60 to 70. Yeah, it's a big difference. Sure, they're using about the same gear, but he does a lot of other things. So for PvP, he's pretty cool. If I wanted to, first round, I could put up the block damage if I knew that they were going to come at me and do a lot of damage to me to where I wouldn't be able to take them out quickly. So there's always that option, and I do like being able to block their buffs. It's really nice in PvP to be able to block their buffs. I didn't, you know, these guys were going down too fast. I didn't. In PvP, the PvP game in this game isn't really a give and take. It's not really a tit for tat where you get to counter, balance, and fight back. So we don't really have a lot of games to where we get to see a guy like this shine. But if we ever do, if the balance ever shifts to where the battles are longer, we're doing longer battles, buffs are really making a big difference, healing, all that kind of stuff, then we can see Warcaster really come in here and shine. But anyways, I was still having tons of fun with him in PvP. So like, I saw this matchup and I was like, oh, okay, Tower. I can stop Tower from doing his buff, his AoE buff to his team, so to block damage. I was like, all right, that sounds great. Let me get in here. But then they've got this other Lego who will remove debuffs, so it didn't work out too well. But still, we got him. But things like this, playing new champions, me getting to show you these other champions that you wouldn't normally, that you've got in your vault. I know a lot of you got Warcaster in your vault out there. You've got him sitting in your inventory. You're just looking at him and you're like, he's got some cool abilities, but you don't need them, right? You're running through 20s of everything. You're running through arena with whatever fast team, just mowing everything down. But it's fun. It is fun, and at least I get to show you these champions so you can decide for yourself whether you want to level them up. And if you're a mid, if you're a new player, or if you're a free-to-play player and you don't have a lot of options and you do have him, you can at least see how he functions and how well he will do for you. Because for somebody without a lot of options, this guy is really good. This will help you. The ability to not take any damage for one turn, even though it's on a 4-turn cooldown, trying to do Dragons 20 or anything else like that that might be hard for you, can really help you, especially if you're just going to manual it. It can really help you out. If you just want to try to manual it for a little bit, get better gear, and progress in the game. His ability to block buffs can really help you. So, and to steal buffs, for sure, if you need it on Magic 15, if you need it on Void 15, and if you need it for waves, if you're noticing that the second wave, you're not able to stop them from buffing up, they're coming in and doing too much damage to you, then this guy can help out. And he's Void. He can be taken anywhere. He was a lot of fun. He should be stealing this buff right here. Right here. He's got a 40% chance, because I don't have him booked up. I don't have any books in him at all, to steal that buff from tower. But it just won't activate, because we don't even see a resist. If he would hit that 40% chance, we'd at least see it either steal it or resist. Gorgorab was trying to do the same thing. Gorgorab was trying to remove it, and it wasn't happening. So that we just had to wait for that one to wear off. But again, if you have this guy and you don't have a large account, if you're not blowing through level 20 stuff, use him. Here's me. Here's my team, bringing him in place of, I had Lua in there just to do some DPS to try to look at their numbers. So here we go. We're going to look at his numbers, and then we're going to look at Lua doing her AoE just to see, with the same gear, how well he does. So we have him going. The fire is really cool. I like the graphic, the special effect as well. So 20K, and then we got her doing a mix of maybe like total of 30,000. So really in PvE, it's not that much different. PvP, it's a big difference. But for some reason in PvP here with these guys, I don't know. It just wasn't that big of a difference. And he was blocking buffs on them, which here it really matters, because these guys, these Hordens, these Hodors from Game of Thrones, they're going to buff up and come in and try to, take out your people fast, always. Even though he didn't have it up on that guy right then when he buffed up. And then, their Apothecary's going to do speed buff, all that kind of stuff. You can try to stop all that. And I need to put books in my guy, because right now he's only got, what, a 50% chance? 55 with Masteries with a 5% additional. So I need to book mine up. He'll be even more. Oh, there we go. So many block buffs. Yeah. Nobody's getting some buffs here. Nobody. So that's great. I'm telling you, he was fun. He's like one of those things you start playing with and you're like, huh, this guy's a lot better than I thought he was. And being that they're Void, it's just nice to be able to bring them. I can't remember right now on Ice Golems. I've got it running behind this game. If there's a lot of people that buff, there are a couple girls who buff up in Ice Golems first wave, who do the counterattack and the block debuffs buff on them, the 2 girls. And then there's a couple other ones that do some buffs as well. So maybe I'll throw him in there and see how he does. It really won't help out with the thing is, right now, there's nowhere for a Warcaster to go to fight a level 20 boss that he'll really... We need a level 20 boss that does buffs, that buffs up, and you're really scared to go in there unless you can bring somebody to get those buffs down or to block those buffs. Now, we didn't bring the dragon down below enough threshold, so he wound up stunning everybody. That is Warcaster, guys. He is pretty cool. If we get new content like a tower, a floor where we go through 100 stages every month, or anything that's challenging where we see somebody, bosses, mini bosses that have buffs that we need to take out like this, now he's got the whole HP shield. Look at it. It's almost covering his whole entire bar, his whole entire life bar. So he stole that. He stole other things from her. Makes Magic 15 no problem. As long as you hit it, as long as you skill him out. So let's go look at his masteries. I've got War Master for Warcaster right here, and just some other stuff to do damage with. And then over here, I've got 5% increased chance to do his debuff, which we need because it's a 75% chance, skill cooldown, and a few other things. So that's really it. That is Warcaster. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Help me grow. I do appreciate all the support. I got the green screen behind me. I don't have the new one yet. It's coming tomorrow. My sister ordered it for me. That was really awesome of her. Thank you so much. If you're watching this, she got me the Elgato green screen that just pulls up, goes down. That way I don't have to keep hanging up this big green sheet behind me. Makes it much easier. Now I've just got some Lua footage that I was just using to compare. So that's really all I've got, guys. But I do appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I hope you like Warcaster. Try him out. Now that I have him 60, now that I have him geared, well, stolen gear, I'm still going to play him in a few other things. I do want to try him out in ice golems. I like to, you know, as a fifth for ice golems or any other things like that, you can just kind of throw anybody in there a lot of times as your fifth person and just see how they do. And that's kind of what I do sometimes. I'll just throw somebody in there and see how it goes. Anyways, guys, I will see you on the next video.